Hi, I'm Bruce Willis. I'm about to do the wired, auto-complete.
What happens when a man who built his entire career on strength, toughness, and unshakable confidence is suddenly forced to confront his own vulnerability? For decades, Bruce Willis stood as one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. He was the everyman turned hero running barefoot across broken glass in Die Hard, outsmarting terrorists with nothing but wit and grit, and saving the world in explosive blockbusters. Audiences adored him, not because he was invincible, but because he was human. He bled, he stumbled, he panicked, and still, he triumphed. But today, Bruce Willis is facing a far more painful and personal challenge. The man who once embodied resilience on screen is now living with dementia. There are no scripts, no rehearsals, no retakes only. A family standing by his side as he slowly fades from the world that once celebrated him. In 2022, Bruce's family delivered the first heartbreaking update. He had been diagnosed with aphasia, a disorder that makes it difficult to speak, read, or understand language. For an actor whose craft relied on voice and expression, it was a cruel twist of fate. But less than a year later, the news grew even more devastating. His condition had progressed into frontotemporal dementia (FTD). This rare, incurable disease slowly strips away memory, behavior, and language. For Bruce, the man known for sharp humor and quick one-liners, it meant losing something even more tragic. His voice. To understand the weight of this moment, we must look back at the remarkable journey that brought him here. Born in 1955 in West Germany, Bruce moved with his family to New Jersey as a child. He struggled with a stutter, often ridiculed by classmates, until acting gave him a way out. On stage, speaking lines, he found confidence on. That discovery changed his life forever. After years of odd jobs and minor roles, Bruce got his big break in the 1980s with the TV series Moonlighting. As the wisecracking detective David Addison, he charmed audiences with his wit and charisma. Suddenly, he wasn't just another struggling actor, he was a star. Then came the role that defined his career, Die Hard. Released in 1988, it introduced audiences to John McClane, the New York cop caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unlike the muscle-bound superheroes of the era, Bruce's McClane was vulnerable. He bled, he panicked, but he never gave up. That relatability struck a chord with audiences worldwide. From there, his career exploded. Bruce went on to star in over 100 films, proving his range time and again. He brought emotional depth in The Sixth Sense, grit in Pulp Fiction, and even reluctant heroism in Unbreakable. More than just an action star, Bruce Willis became a cultural icon, someone who redefined what it meant to be a Hollywood hero. Off-screen, Bruce's personal life drew as much attention as his films. His marriage to Demi Moore became one of Hollywood's most talked-about relationships of the 1990s together. They had 3 daughters, Rumer, Scout, and Tallulah. Even after their divorce, Bruce and Demi remained close, setting an example of modern family unity. Later, Bruce married Emma Heming, with whom he shares 2 more daughters, Mabel and Evelyn. What's extraordinary is how seamlessly the families blended. Photos often showed Demi, Emma, and all 5 daughters, together, proof that family, not fame, was at the center of Bruce's life. That same family unity has become Bruce's greatest source of strength as dementia takes its toll. His loved ones have taken on the role of guardians, protecting him, sharing updates with fans, and raising awareness about the disease. Recently, news broke that Bruce has moved to live alone. To many, it sounded heartbreaking. But for dementia patients, peace and routine are sometimes more comforting than constant activity. For Bruce, solitude may mean a calmer, less confusing environment, yet his family remains ever-present, caring and ensuring that love surrounds him, even as independence fades. As Bruce's illness progressed, his family became his lifeline. In a world where dementia often isolates and fragments families, the Willises chose the opposite path. They united. His daughters, each in their own way, stepped forward to support the father who had always been their protector. Rumer Willis, the eldest, often shares heartfelt words and photos, giving fans a glimpse into the tenderness of their bond. She carries the weight of being the firstborn, often the spokesperson, balancing her own career with the quiet responsibility of protecting her father's legacy. Scout Willis, the free spirit, has been vocal about how devastating it is to watch someone so strong become fragile. Her honesty reminds the world that behind the Hollywood image is a family experiencing the same heartbreak millions of others face when dementia enters their lives. Tallulah Willis, the youngest of Bruce and Demi's children, has been deeply open about her struggles, how her father's illness has affected her mental health, how the fear of losing him piece by piece weighs on her. Yet, she also radiates resilience, turning pain into advocacy, showing that vulnerability can also be strength. Then there are Mabel and Evelyn, Bruce's youngest daughters, with Emma Heming. Still so young, they are growing up in circumstances no child should have to face. But Emma, with extraordinary grace, shields them from the harshest realities, while still ensuring they know the love of their father. For them, Bruce is not the Hollywood star or the man on movie posters. He is simply Dad. And at the center of it all stands Emma Heming Willis. She has become Bruce's guardian in every sense of the word, fighting for his dignity. Resonate with millions of families worldwide, reminding them they are not alone in this journey. She carries the heartbreak with strength, even while admitting that some days are unbearably heavy. Demi Moore, too, remains a constant presence. Together, with Emma, she ensures that Bruce is surrounded not by chaos or pity, but by unwavering support. It is rare to see such unity in Hollywood, where fractured families often make headlines. Instead, the Willis family has become an example of what it means to put aside differences and come together when it matters most. Though his memory may falter, though words may slip away, the warmth of family is something even dementia cannot erase. Their laughter, their touch, their presence, these are the anchors keeping him grounded in the storm. The reality is hard to face, but perhaps Bruce Willis has always represented something greater than invincibility. He was the imperfect hero, the man who showed the world that true resilience is about endurance, not perfection. Today, his legacy is not only measured in box office numbers or iconic lines, but in the grace with which he and his family navigate this painful chapter. Think about his most famous catchphrase, "Yippee-ki-yay." Once a symbol of defiance and survival, it now carries a deeper meaning. The man who spoke those words is losing his voice. Yet his spirit continues to inspire. What makes Bruce's story so deeply human is the contrast. On screen, he saved the world again and again. In Armageddon, he sacrificed himself for humanity. In The Sixth Sense, he explored life beyond death. In Unbreakable, he became the reluctant protector. Each role was about resilience against impossible odds. And now, off-screen, he is living a story no script could capture, a hero quietly fading, not in fire and explosions, but in silence and memory loss. For millions of families who have walked this same road with loved ones, Bruce's journey is heartbreakingly familiar. Is one thing that shines through. It's the devotion of his family. Demi Moore remains by his side. Emma Heming shows unshakable strength, and his 5 daughters continue to surround him with love. Together, they've chosen not to hide from this tragedy, but to face it publicly, to raise awareness, to offer hope, and to show the world that even in decline, that while dementia steals memory, it cannot steal presence. Love, in its purest form, remains visible. So perhaps this is Bruce Willis's ultimate legacy. Not just the films, the action scenes, or the immortal one-liners, but the reminder that strength is not about how loudly you fight, but how quietly you endure. That love is not only about celebrating the good times, but about holding someone close when the darkness sets in. Bruce Willis may be stepping away from the spotlight, but his story continues, written not by Hollywood scripts, but by the family, who refuses to let him fade away unseen. And so, I leave you with this question. When you think of Bruce Willis, what comes to your mind first? The action hero leaping from explosions? The haunted man whispering, "I see dead people," or simply a father, surrounded by love, teaching us that even in vulnerability, there is greatness? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more untold stories of Hollywood's greatest legends, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.